Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention with the head Hornet, the Louise Hornets, Heath Clawson. Coach, thanks for making time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
So we talked before you came on about the humidity in Louise. Is it just the worst?
There's some days where, I step outside at 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm already sweating, So the humidity is a little bit of a challenge, but, it's hot just like everywhere else in Texas.
Last year you guys had I hope you don't take offense to this, a bizarre year. You go into the playoffs at 2-8.
Yeah.
You win a dang playoff game. So on one hand, you finish 3-9. On the other hand, there's a lot of teams in the state who wish they had a playoff win. So how would you assess your 2017 squad or 2017 year?
Well, it was an interesting year, with just a multitude of things that happened throughout the season. Obviously Hurricane Harvey threw a kink in things for a lot of people in our area, and it did for us as well. We were off for a couple of weeks and heading. When Hurricane Harvey hit, I felt like we were in great condition. The kids had worked hard all summer. It was I would think probably the best summer that Louise has ever had. I mean, we had kids up all summer long working out, and so we were in great shape. And so I was real excited, to start the season. And Harvey hit, and there was a lot of bigger, things going on than football, know. And so, the kids wanted to help. We went down to Rockport, took a busload of kids down there. I mean, I had to get a large school bus to take kids down and go help, and they all wish we could do more, to help. And but, we did what we could, and we came back, and then we got back to it. And, but immediately we come in, and our AC is out in the high school when we come back for the first 3 weeks. And so our kids are sweating all day long too, so we got a little bit out of shape for over 2 weeks. We come back and they're sweating, so guess what? We start cramping. So those first 2 or 3 games, we were cramping like crazy. I had a lineman that ended up not being with us that was supposed to be a two-way starter for us, a senior. That hurt us, and so there was all kinds of stuff going on. My quarterback and starting running back ended up not playing a full game together, I don't think, until district. It was just very interesting with different little injuries that occurred on top of those other issues that we were trying to battle through. And I tell you what, man, with the kids and the coaches and everybody, I was just so proud of how they persevered through all those things and pushed through. And, we ended up finding a way to get in and then win a playoff game. And, we were almost healthy whenever we got to the playoffs. And so, man, I tell you what, I was just so proud of everybody. And I think it built a lot of character in our kids.
Almost healthy. the Heath Clawson story. Almost healthy.
That's right.
All of those things that conspired to make last year so singular and different. Has it been nice to have a relatively boring offseason?
A little bit. I mean, you get the old adage, no news is good news.
Yeah.
So you just kind of
hold your breath and
exactly.
say, yeah.
So it is nice to, I think after last year with all the things that we dealt with, not just in football season, it was kind of throughout the year we had to deal with. And really the last 2 years. My first year was very interesting when it came to some other things, personnel and stuff that we dealt with. And so the things that have gone on for the 2 years that I've been there, I think the kids were kind of ready to just let me relax a little bit here. Let me back off from the grind and the constant, different things that are being thrown at us.
Sure.
And so they've had a little bit of downtime. So I'm excited that I think whenever they show up here in a couple of weeks for the season to start, that they're going to be ready to go.
And the other thing about that is because you have so many of those guys back. You have 8 starters back on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
How much do you think that experience of not just obviously experience that you get, but playoff experience? How much do you think that's going to benefit you guys heading into 2018?
I think it's going to be a big benefit for us. I think those kids saw that next step that they need to take. And I tell you what, in the spring, and they got after it in the weight room. They worked very, very hard. And I think after this little bit of downtime to kind of recharge, and recharge those batteries, I think that when they reflect on what we did last year and how they persevered, that this year we can turn that into some more victories early on, especially with a different schedule, and then that'll lead us into playoffs, hopefully with a different objective other than just trying to maybe win a game. And maybe we can make a run. So that's kind of what they're thinking.
One of the guys you got coming back is Colin Gonzalez, a kid who really flashed last year. There were moments where he was the best player on the field.
Oh, yeah.
And you go, okay, this kid's got something.
Yeah.
As the guy who knows him probably better than anybody in a football sense, what is it about him that makes you excited that he's wearing the blue and white on, or blue, white, and yellow on?
Well, above anything else, he's got great character. He's just a great kid, and he's the kid that we give him a little water break, and he runs over with a bottle of water to the coaches, saying, "Coach, y'all need some water too," and he just does that because that's in his heart, and he's. I told him, I said, you've got the servant leadership before you've got the other things on the field that some guys have that on the field but haven't figured the other stuff out yet. And I think that's the biggest thing, and the kids really respond to that. Yeah. They follow him not because he's such a great athlete, but because of those things that he does, and he's very humble. And it's just it's a pleasure to coach him, and we've got so many great kids that follow that lead. It's a pleasure to be in Louise and to work with those kids. And and Colin kind of exemplifies what we're trying to get across to those kids, because at the end of the day, as much as we all love football and we want to win, we want to make good young men, that are going to be good husbands and fathers and employers or employees or whatever. We want to put out good citizens. So,
yeah. If 2018 is successful, what is it that you guys are going to have hung your hat on? What is it that you guys are going to be about, that we're going to be saying, oh, this is the personality of this team? What is it that you guys are going to do best?
We've really harped on being tough, and just battling through things that are thrown at you. And I mean, we've had to do that the last couple of years, and the kids have had to do it. And sometimes that's exhausting, but they've done it. We did it my first year there. We did it the second year there, and I'm just so proud that our kids hung in there, so that they could see the success come later in the season. And so now what I'm hoping is that toughness has built up, that we'll start the season showing that, not that we're having to endure stuff, but that we're now turning that into, we're a force to be reckoned with. So that's kind of what I'm hoping.
Did you break up with somebody in the UIL's daughter or something? For realignment. So Burton, huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
the thing is,
it was already tough with Flatonia. Flatonia, I think, has got a chance to be pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
And then you're just like, just sprinkle in a little bit of Burton.
Well,
what do you think of your district?
I've had other people ask me that, and I said, well, we've had Falls City,
the
last 2 years, and they got knocked out by Burton both years, but they played them tough. Flatonia played Burton tough as well. But my 2 years in Louise, we played Burton 3 times. The pre-district, both years I was there, and then in the playoffs, and they knocked us out in the second round last year. And the thing is that our kids showed some flashes of being able to play with them. We didn't put four quarters together, but we put I guess in the 8 quarters we played, there was at least 3, maybe 4 quarters where we showed that we could play with those guys. Yep. And if we could put 4 quarters all in one game, then it might be an interesting game. Yeah. But, man, they are loaded. They're loaded again this year. And it's not just their 2 studs that everybody kind of talks about. They have a lot of depth. And, it's going to be a challenge, but it's one that we're ready for, and we're looking forward to it.
It's a good district. It's going to have you ready for the playoffs. You know what I mean? That you're going to play those guys. Those are playoff caliber players.
Sure.
So we're talking with Heath Clawson of the Louise Hornets, who is now going to spin.
Oh, man. What?
The question, the Dick's Sporting Goods question wheel, Dick'sSportingGoods.com for all your sporting and goods. Dick'sSportingGoods.com. Thank you to Dick's Sporting Goods. All right. If you were not a coach, what would you be doing for a living?
When I was in high school, I was really into, fighter jets and all that kind of stuff. And, Yeah, and I was like, man, that'd be cool to be a pilot or something like that. But my vision didn't pass the test on that deal.
Top Gun?
Oh,
big,
man.
Big Top Gun guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. That would be a lot of fun to do that. But I think, either way, I would definitely be involved in coaching, youth sports or something like that. If I wasn't, a professional coach, I think I would still do that.
Just in your bones?
It is. I mean, I always felt like, that I was supposed to do this or that. And then, as I got into college and I said, I need to do what I think the good Lord wants me to do. And I feel like that he said, hey, you need to continue to help, young people. And since I had a passion for sports as well, it just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, yeah. Coaching is an illness, and there's a lot of people around here who are infected, and it seems like you're one of them.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
bud. I had to give that diagnosis.
That's what my wife says. She says, man, that's just who you are. As a matter of fact, she said not too long ago, she said, I can't imagine you not being a coach. I have no idea what you would do. And I said, I don't think I know what I would do either.
Don't yell at a bird for flying.
Yeah,
He's Heath Clawson. He's the head coach of the Louise Hornets. Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Greg.